my gosh. Hello, good afternoon. Welcome, you guys, to the Insiders on Real Estate and Marketing, episode 52. I'm your host, Sandy Hibbard. Joining me today is our host, Mr. Marc Miller, my co-host and representative of our sponsor, Secured Title of Texas. Hey, guys.
Hey.
And today we got a super guest. Our Gen Z realtor, Miss Harlee Owen, is joining us. She's come all the way over from the other side, Keller, here in Dallas. And we're going to do a deep dive today into Gen Z. Actually, the way I put it whenever I put it out on social is, are you in your 20s? You want to get in real estate? Come watch this show. That's what we're going to be talking about today. So everything from what the secrets are to get started, what's needed to get started, what kind of a marketing arsenal do Gen Zs prefer to use, and Harlee's going to kind of give us all her tips and secrets of how she has entered the market and been successful in what she's doing to market herself and to brand herself. So it's going to be a fun show. Glad you're here. But before we get started, let's talk with Marc and find out what's the scoop on this market today. Are we in a summer market yet?
Close. Yeah. I mean, I'm looked at order count. I look at it every day, but I kind of looked at sum total because we're moving toward the end of a month. Mm-hmm. And I was pleasantly surprised at our contracts. But I also listen all the time to T-bills because that movement starts going up. You start seeing the mortgage rate being impacted by that as well. And we got a little bit of climb going on this week.
When the T-bills go up, mortgage rates go up?
Mortgage rates will follow, yeah. Huh. So if you see that T-bill moving down and it's down in 4.5 or below, we start to see some better activity and contracts seem to flow. And when it tips over that 4.5 toward 5, then we get the exact same opposite reaction to that.
Interesting. Well, where are mortgage rates right now?
Probably Harlee might even be able to tell me more specific, but I was looking. I think it's right at maybe a little over 7% on a 30. That side. So, and I think the people are adjusting to that percentage. Yeah. When they hear that.
But I don't like how we've seen it creep up just in those subtle movements upwards. It used to be 5.5, and now it's almost 7.
Right.
That's wild.
But
that's scary.
That was the Feds moving pretty quickly through. I mean, almost every month they were kicking it up. So, but I was pleased to see what we have in contracts coming in now. I also have 2 really good investor accounts, and they don't care about the mortgage market, and so they're just out here in a feeding frenzy buying houses, which are not flip deals. They're like $250 to $450, and they buy and hold, and then they lease and fix them up, and then have an exit strategy with it. So that side's good. Land is just selling like crazy everywhere. Everybody's woken up to that side. Commercial actually is better than what I anticipated on that side, but we're not in the office market. We're more in retail side development, smaller retail developments. Okay. We've got 2 nice multifamily deals forthcoming that are going to close, 30 million plus that side. So it's very pocketed throughout that. But if you take and spread that across a platform, and you've got a little of this, a little of that, a little of that, and a little of that, then you're not dependent on one thing. One dips, other one may be surging that side. So I'm encouraged with what I'm seeing out there. I'm most excited that I have electricity.
I know.
Which just happened in the last 20 minutes. I'm just like beside myself to that side. Yeah, bless the hearts of anybody else that's still out there without it, because this is that, I've seen this happen before. Next thing you go, okay, for 24 hours, I'm just trying to mitigate. And then it becomes a refrigerator-related issues and, pets are not, and I'm sitting also, I've got a 105-gallon aquarium built into a wall, and I've got 50 fish in there, and they're kind of looking at me like, dude, what's going on here? We ain't got any bubbles
happening. How long total were you out?
Will have been about 36 hours.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. So recovery is well on its way.
It just kind of scraped by us in McKinney. We didn't.
Yeah. But Dallas got really hit really hard. So
did you guys get it?
In Keller. Yeah. Denton got hit hard pretty.
Yeah, and Houston, you don't see anything on the media on that, but Houston got hit with 95-mile-an-hour winds down there and got knocked pretty hard as well. So, anyhow,
Yeah, we've
and-
got a very active
yeah,
system.
good old Mother
spring.
Nature,
Yeah.
and nothing you can really do
Yeah.
about it. So, anyhow, well, let's get to
Let's
Harlee.
jump into
Number one,
this.
Harlee, I never asked you what I love your name. What's your source of your name?
My mom said it was she used to hang out with people that drove Harleys. That's not a joke.
Oh my
Really?
God!
That's not, yeah,
Really?
it's not a joke. So
I thought you were
that's
going to say it was
nothing to
like
do with
my
the Marvel, is it
great
Marvel?
grandmother or something, right?
The Joker and Harley, is that a Marvel character?
the Harley Quinn is
Yeah.
a Marvel character,
Okay.
I believe.
So maybe your mom was
So
into
when somebody
that.
fires up a Harley, do you kind of get a smile on your face, or what?
Whenever I introduce myself as Harley, I either get like the motorcycle,
Yeah.
or like Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
Ah,
So
See, that was
Okay.
the first thing I
It's-
thought of was Harley Quinn because that movie's coming out, and
it's definitely an icebreaker,
yeah, for sure.
kind of.
so
tell us about this
anyhow,
girl. Yeah.
as I was visiting with Harley, I said Sandy and I were talking about we got to get somebody on Gen Z, and a friend of
Yes,
mine,
Yes.
Harley, thought I was spamming her.
That's so funny.
And a friend of mine said, "You need to. This is a girl you need to get on the show." So we got her, and I'm excited
Awesome.
about
I'm
that.
so excited.
She's under the category of the Gen Z realtor, and we'll talk about
yeah.
that. But she has a wealth of knowledge for the time she's been in the business, and I see people in this business every day, and they enter in, and then they fade away, and
Yeah.
she's got her feet on the ground, and she's doing some good things. So I'm
Good,
excited
good.
to talk about that. So she's been very successful in the Metroplex of Dallas, and outside of her professional life, she likes the cultural scene and a little hiking here and there, and
Nice.
new restaurants, etc. And I love the fact she's a passionate advocate for animal welfare,
Yeah,
and we
cool.
can visit about that for a few minutes. Avid reader and fitness enthusiast. So in a competitive industry that she's in, she's exemplifying professionalism, compassion, expertise, the things we love to look for, and she's just addressing a younger generation, which I want to see that generation come into ownership
Absolutely.
of home, because it's the first.
And to be successful.
The truth of the matter is, Harley, you could comment this, probably the first opportunity they've ever had to build equity in something, if they can get into that house, where they're versus having a savings account or other things. So this is probably their first step into the realization of what I think still the American dream, to own your home and all the benefits that come from it, and the appreciating market that we're in. You hang in there, you're going to make money.
Well,
So
it's an important part of our sector of the market evolving is
Right.
bring in young people.
Yeah.
And it's been on my mind. I wrote an article, just real quick, let me tout this so that you guys have information about this. I wrote an article, it's on my blog, called Gen Z Want a Real Estate Career? Here's What You Need. So I've kind of done a deep dive, and this is why I wanted to get Harley on here, because it's something I'm putting out there, marketing for the real estate industry, that if you need to have a guide, if you're in your 20s and you don't want to go into traditional areas like corporate or work in a restaurant or even go to college, if you're not really ready to jump into university yet, I think that real estate is a great option. So anyway, been thinking about it. I wrote a great article. It's a guide. You can download the guide on my blog. So just go to sandyhibbardcreative.com, click on the blog, and you'll see that article on Gen Z. Download it and share it with your teams. If you're a realtor broker, go ahead and get it. Let's do some teaching to these younger people about how they can dip their toes into this industry. I mean, I think it's a great idea. I think the younger you get started in real estate, the more potential you have to make major bucks. So anyway.
And how did you
Welcome.
get into real estate, Harley?
So it's not that complicated of a story. I started in college. I told my parents I wanted to do real estate when I was 18. They didn't like that. So I went to college for 2 years for business management, admin, marketing, those types of things. I didn't like it.
No?
I was working in property management while I was in college for those 2 years. So I was a leasing agent full time. Started in student housing. Loved it. I could connect with the students so well. Their parents, when they came to tour, I didn't care about the parents. I wanted these students to love the apartment they're going to live in, because I lived there too. It was super easy to. Loved it. Fell in love with helping them find their homes, and then when I decided I wanted to move back to DFW, that's when I got my real estate license.
Awesome.
Excellent.
So
you had you had the idea what real estate was about, then you got on the transactional side from leasing side. And then what would be some of the keys to your success, you think, in real estate once you entered Was there a point of struggle? Did you just flow right in like you did in the leasing side?
I kind of did flow right in. I want to say it was luck, but I also worked hard while I had my license, and we'll get into that. So the three main keys I would say were connections, number one. Connections are number one.
Good.
Next is mentorship from when I started. And then the
Great
next
point.
would be marketing.
Okay.
Marketing is great, but if you don't know what you're doing, you're not going to do your job. So that was where the mentor came in. And then connections. While I was getting my license, I started making connections. I started posting, I'm going to get my real estate license. Hey, everyone on Facebook, I'm going to get my real estate license. All my family, friends, they all knew before. So as soon as I announced it, it was already my first month I had a client. So
I love that. So the three keys for you were connections, mentorship, and marketing. I love that. So getting through the educational process was, you said it wasn't that difficult. So people don't have to be afraid that, oh, no, I've heard kids say, no, it's too hard. You have to study too much to get your license. But, you know.
It's quite a bit of studying. It's not difficult. You just have to read and remember and take notes. I will say I did not pass my exam the first time. It was my second try, but you know, it didn't get me down. It's just a lot of info to cram into one time. So if you don't pass the first time, don't get, oh, I give up. Just try it again. I mean, it's, because they'll tell you what you missed on the test too.
Yeah.
They'll tell you what section, what portion. So for me, it was real estate law, funny enough. So I went back and restudied the law. And it was fine.
That's good. Now, what came first, the chicken or the egg, the education or the broker? So did you choose a broker and then go through the educational process through the broker, or did you do the educational process first?
It's actually a good question. Before I went to college, I worked at a golf course. This is going somewhere, I promise. I actually met Jim Fight at the golf course.
Oh, wow,
I
he's a good
worked
friend of
at
ours.
England
One of my
Rose.
dearest friends.
So I worked at Century 21 Judge Fight.
Wow.
My first, for the first 6 months of my career.
Okay, yeah. They're Century 21, I can't say enough good things about Judge Fight Company. And they are great.
They are great.
For new, young agents.
They
are
are.
like the nesting area.
Yes,
Yeah.
they're great.
Yeah.
That's where I started.
Awesome. Did you meet Jan?
I did, actually. Yeah, she's really sweet.
Dear friend of mine, love her to death. Yeah. Well, that's cool. So you did select your broker, and what was your basis for that? What made you select Judge Fight Company?
The training program to start, the mentorship program they had. Not a lot of brokerages have a real mentorship program.
Yeah.
I could tell they were real about it because, I mean, I saw when I was there at my interview someone being mentored. So I knew they weren't lying about their mentorship program. And that was what enticed me the most, because a lot of other brokerages that I had interviewed and given a chance, they said they had a mentorship program, but there was nothing in writing, nothing on paper. It was just, oh, you'll have somebody to help you. That was not attractive to me. I needed to know how to do my job if I was going to do the job. So
You know, Marc is always touting mentorship on the show. I think that no matter what age you are in this business, that having a mentor is so important for accountability and to learn from and to be there to lean on, you know. So that's great that you had that.
yes,
That's
I had
awesome.
a great mentor.
But you made a transition
I
then
did.
from Judge Fight to
TK Realty.
TK.
Boutique brokerage as of right now. They're still small. I do believe he wants to grow bigger, but right now we're a little bit under 20 agents. My mentor and I both moved there. I moved first, and then she moved next. We started a team, or she started a team, so I joined her real estate team, which is probably the best decision I made for my career at the time, because having a team lead that's actually there for you and not just there for your commissions, because team structures, you'll learn a little bit about that when you join. They're a little bit different than being individual, but it's you have that built-in mentor, so they kind of always help you. So it just made more sense for her team for us to make the transition.
So you're a part of that team now.
Yes.
Awesome. I mean, I think that that's a great idea to go along with the mentorship. And we talk about teams a lot here. A lot easier to do that when you're new in learning than to have to do it on your own and not have anyone to lean on or anyone to help you.
It also helps when you're younger, Gen Z, real estate, if you're looking to join. A lot of people will comment on your age. How old are you? Oh, there's no way you're old enough to do this. If that happens, it's a good way to back up. Oh, my team lead she's been doing this for 7 years, or our team has been a combined experience of
Right.
7,
Kind of helps
8
in the
years.
marketing a little
It
bit.
helps.
or units sold or whatever the whatever those
units sold,
questions
volume.
might be. Yeah.
You can even say your volume because you're on the team.
Right.
So they're not going to
No, I think that's brilliant, actually, for the Gen Zs getting into the business, that a team idea. So that's another good thing, another good tip to have there, the team idea. So tell us about your marketing, your strategy and approach. You know, I like to think, as a marketer of 24 years, I own my own company, Sandy Hibbard Creative, and I have to stay abreast of the marketing as much as any 22-year-old. And so it's interesting to see how different age groups, because, you know, I'm a boomer, and most of my boomer clients
That was funny.
want me to do everything. Sorry. Well, we're saying Gen Z. I am a boomer.
Right.
Not boomer sooner.
No.
No.
I
Love
am,
that.
but yeah.
Yeah, not boomer sooner. Texas. And so anyway, different age groups look at marketing differently. And what I'm trying to say is that I have to look at all of those things as an agency owner. But it's interesting with the clients that I have, how the age groups, I have to approach them differently, and we take different directions in their marketing based usually on what generation they are. So how do you look at marketing?
I think social media and branding yourself on social media is the most important. With that comes video content. I think video content, anyone can tell you. Sandy could tell you. She's doing a video right now.
Yeah.
Sandy could tell you, anyone tell you, videos are, everywhere now. Ever since TikTok kind of blew up, Reels on Instagram, YouTube Shorts. So that's my main form of marketing, is short form video.
Okay.
I don't do long form video that much, purely because I just don't really like talking. I like to
it's
make
not your
videos
thing.
with fun music and,
Sure.
and things like that. And then in the caption, maybe do something educational. So I'll put a short form video that says, top 5 reasons you should purchase new construction, and then the top 5 reasons are in
Well,
the
I think that's a
caption.
good strategy. I think that the video strategy is use the video to entice them, use the caption to inform and teach. So the algorithms even like longer captions. So don't be afraid to do long captions, to teach, to do several paragraphs in an Instagram post, but use the video as your bait.
Yes, that's what I've been doing. I also have just recently started to post more personal life things. I was kind of scared to do that at first, but now we're jumping back into that. So I did a vlog on Memorial Day weekend.
Okay, that's good.
People like that. They want to see your individual life, especially when you're young and you're maybe not married, you're not a parent yet, so they want to see that you're not a robot just working.
Well, it's boring.
Yeah.
You know, when you go to someone's site and all you see is realtor headshots or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, I've preached this for years. I would want to see, if I'm looking on someone's Instagram page, Facebook page, or whatever, I want to see that they're a realtor. So I like to see that they're a real person, their family, but I also want to see the realness behind their business. So I want to see videos of homes. I want to see tips on kitchen design. I want to see things that have to do with the home. I mean, this is, in my opinion, as a marketer, I think this is really important. And it's something that I see a lot of realtors at all ages, they miss that. And I don't know if it's because they don't have the tools to do it or they're not prepared to do it. I don't know why. But I think to have a network where you're blending who you are as a person, so you've got the personal brand going that is embracing what your business is all about. So you're doing walkthroughs, you're doing cute videos out planting flowers in front of a listing and making jokes or whatever. I mean, there's so many ways you could take that, because a home has so many aspects to it. So you could go from interior design kitchen to tips on landscaping, or
Right.
tips on the homeowners thing. What did we go through this last January? What's that called?
on the
Homestead.
homestead
Tips on
exemption.
homestead.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many things,
Yeah.
taxes, all of that. So using your personality that you're using to build your personal brand with, that encompasses your business, I think that's very, very important.
And it also attracts the clients that you want, right? If you're being fake and say I'm posting luxury homes all the time, I'm not going to say I don't want to sell luxury homes, but I'm 22 years old. So
Yeah.
I would much rather probably work with first-time home buyers because I can educate them on how to, because there's a lot of realtors
Jan
older.
Phi always says, do what you're comfortable with.
Yes, and there's a lot of realtors older that don't want to help first-time home buyers. In fact, I was meeting with a lender the other day, and he said he had mentioned down payment assistance to this realtor. I don't know anything about this realtor, but she had said she doesn't do down payment assistance, and I was shocked a little, taken back. It's like, I mean,
do
maybe
whatever
that's
your
not her
client
market,
needs, right?
but I'm very passionate about, people think they can't buy a house, and then they can. I've had so many of my clients that done that. Renters turn buyers. I mean, it's, yeah.
You're right.
So
You're right
what
on.
do you think are in that age category are the three common misconceptions about their ability to buy that house?
I actually had somebody yesterday ask me, they own a car that has a loan, and they thought they couldn't buy a house because they have a car loan. And I said, that's not, no question is dumb. Especially when you're young.
Absolutely.
No question is dumb when you're young. I mean, nobody knows.
Yeah.
Knows that they think, they don't even know what DTI is. Like, no, it's about DTI. Oh, what's the percentage have to be? And then we go from there. It depends on the loan, so I'm not going to go over that.
Well, they
I'm
probably
not a
don't think
officer.
about they had a car and they're current, and that's improving their credit.
Right.
And then you get into the credit score side as well. How many of them have even done a credit score if they first time thinking about buying the house?
Some of them don't have credit scores, so
Yeah.
then that sets us back a couple months because you do have to have some credit history to purchase
Right.
a home.
Did you ever think when you got into real estate that you were going to have to learn and wear so many hats?
I didn't.
Become the
I
mortgage
didn't.
expert?
I did
and
not. People
credit
reach out to me
expert?
first for mortgages, and I always have to send them to my mortgage broker because I'm not. I mean, I will learn what types of mortgages there are, but as far as DTI percentages go and interest rates, I try to keep a general knowledge, but not too deep because that's their job, and I don't want to take away from their job and their knowledge and how they can help my client.
Well, because they're going to have, maybe after a conversation with them, they're also going to try to craft a
Yes.
particular mortgage
Yeah.
recommendation, if you will.
Yes.
tailor it for them.
Yeah.
Everyone's
to the-
different. So
Everyone's different.
So are
That's
you
what-
still going, you still use the apartments as a marketing source? Because you referenced that early in your
yes, I
career?
do leasing still. I do a lot of leases.
Okay.
So actually more than I did early in my career. And for me, it's a matter of these leases they're going to buy a house eventually.
That's what I'm
and that's
thinking,
not
lease to buy,
in the back
yeah.
of my mind all the time. It's still genuinely people who need help leasing stuff. You'd be surprised, right? And then yes, you get endless referrals from these people because again, there are realtors who won't even help a lease client. So I will say I had one when I first started. Her budget was $800 a month for a 2-bedroom. We found it.
Whoa.
We found it. It was months of work
Where?
for me, but I found it. And
What city in this metroplex?
it was Fort Worth. It was not.
Okay.
It was Fort Worth. It was a great area of Fort Worth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And anyways, she ended up leasing there, and now she's sent me the most referrals, I think, out of all of my clients. Every single one of them. She sent the most referrals.
That's
and
cool.
Buyers, listings, leases, not just lease clients.
Yeah.
So
That's good. You're doing something right there. I like that. So your lifestyle, you hear people complaining about Gen Zs. Oh, they don't know how to work. Work-life balance. Boy, they're not going to work overtime. They're going to make sure they get home in time to play their video games. We hear that chatter. So tell us and tell our viewers, how do you balance work and life? And is it a thing with Gen Z, or is it like your mom or like us, or just talk to us about that?
I didn't. My first year I had no work-life balance. All I did was work.
Yeah.
So the fact that people said Gen Z doesn't work, I think that's what motivated me. I would work for 12 hours showing houses. I would get home at 8 p.m. Then I would stay up until midnight working on my marketing and branding and what I was going to post the next day and plan out the month. And I was also running the marketing for our brokerage, my team. So I was doing...
This is why you're on our show.
I was doing a lot of stuff. And then going into my second year, I did slow down on the working till 8 p.m. because that's not healthy. And I thought to
Exhausting.
myself, if I'm in a relationship where I have, a husband and kids one day, this is not going to work. So I kind of set the boundary to stop working around 7. And it doesn't just cut off at 7, right? If I have a client that needs to see a house at 7 and they can only go at 7, we're going at 7,
Yeah.
right? Now, if they can do another day, we'll But not go at 7. And then as far as phone calls, texts go, if it's urgent, I'll answer. Right? If we're under contract, we're doing an application on a lease. If we're still looking, searching, it can wait till tomorrow. It's like running a business. You have to set your own hours and kind of.
Right.
Or else you're just going to get so caught up. I almost got burnt out that first year because of that. So.
Yeah, I mean, that is the problem. I do believe in work-life balance. And,
Right.
And baby boomers have been notorious for not knowing about that, because we've all just worked our entire lives and that's all we've ever done and missed out on a lot of different things. So the younger generation, I think, is seeing that there is a value in being able to set boundaries and say no or turn off your phone. Do you ever turn off your phone?
I don't turn it off. I just put it on Do Not Disturb. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I don't
That
think Gen
counts.
Zs
That
turn
counts.
off their phone ever.
That counts. No, so I think that's great. I think that setting boundaries and creating a work-life balance is super important for anybody, no matter what age you are, joining the real estate industry. I don't think you have to be afraid it's going to consume you.
Right.
But I think you do have to work hard. And Mark and I talk about that all the time, about how, you got to work in your business.
People think real estate agents are lazy, and I think that's the biggest misconception I've
Totally
ever.
agree.
Because when I joined, because they're watching Selling Sunset and stuff, which isn't realistic.
Right.
No, we're not out at bars drinking every night and
Right.
hanging out with our brokerage. It's not how it works. We're actually busy all the time. Title reps can agree. I mean, even title's busy. Everyone in real estate is busy all the time. Like, we have to forcefully put the work down.
I think it's absolutely true. It's not like Selling Sunset.
Yeah,
No.
it's not like Selling Sunset for all the Gen Zs that think it is. 'Cause
I
it's
know,
absolutely not. We're not selling $3 million houses all the time, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Sometimes they are.
Well, I think
Investor
with
specials.
what you told us, that with your 3 keys to success, the mentoring, the marketing, and what was the first one? Connections.
Connection. Yeah.
And your work ethic that's not afraid to work. You'll do what needs to be done. I think that's the attitude that you have to take, is that I am here to get the job done for this client. And you have boundaries that surround that, but you're not afraid to work. And to me, that's the key to success.
That's
no matter what age you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then to be on I say to be on a team, but to have have other people around you. I thrive off. I can't work out of a house. I've got to go to my office and have that. That's where I can get my energy created from, and you get into the flow, and it just sort of kind of jazzes you up to that side. I don't know how.
Whatever works.
Yeah,
for
whatever
you.
works for you.
Yeah.
But I saw the other day was a Facebook. It said, "How can you tell if a realtor's on vacation?" And it's a guy sitting in about waist deep in the ocean. He's got his phone and he's holding his laptop up.
I saw that.
Did
I
you see
saw
that?
Oh, man.
Yeah. So that's
No, that's ridiculous.
I know, but I remember a good friend, Vicki Foster, who sells down in Highland Park, and one time I called her on a deal we had open, and I got a voice message that said, "If you reach me at 6:00 this evening, I will return your call tomorrow morning."
Yes, I
So
love that. I
she
had
put
heard
the
those
brakes.
messages
Yeah,
before.
she put the brakes on in terms of where she was going to willing to go from working, and cut it at 6 and address it the next morning.
Well, just think about it. If you are a top producing realtor and you've been in the business for a while, so you've got not only the business you're doing now, but all the referrals and all the past things that are going to be coming at you. If you don't say no to something, you will not be able to breathe. I've talked and had so many clients in my history of doing real estate marketing that have burned out because they just simply don't know how to put their phone on silent or not take it to the dinner table. Leave it in their purse
Right.
and don't take it out.
Or
you know?
just not take a client if you can't. I mean, or if you're not knowledgeable enough for that client. For example, a lot of new realtors they'll get an inquiry about commercial. I did when I first started. I wanted to try it. I wanted to try it so bad. And my broker gave me the best advice, TK, Tyler. He said, you don't need to take on stuff that you're not, educated on. You're not doing your due diligence for your client.
Yeah. That's it.
Referring them to another agent will do the best due diligence for your client.
Yeah.
Right? So if
Very
you're brand
smart.
new and you've never sold a home before, your best due diligence is to bring on your mentor and maybe lose some money, it doesn't matter because that's the best due diligence for the client. So I think a lot of people, they get caught up in
that's
trying to take too much.
Very smart point to end on. It is always better to stay in your wheelhouse. You know, no matter what, we all get greedy. We all want it all, you know, and it's hard to say no. So, you know, you have to sometimes just put the skids on and say, no, this is not what I'm good at, or I don't know how to do this, and I'm going to have to pass. And I think that I have a lot of respect for someone who's able to do that. It shows a lot of discipline to me. So anyway, that's all the time we've got. And I just want to thank you so much for coming on the show and talking to us about
thanks for having
your
me.
perspective. And it's been fun. I'm going to ask Marc to leave us with 3 takeaways. And if you want to think about, while he's talking, what your 3 takeaways are, I'd like for you to just leave 3 ideas for any of those Gen Zs, 20-somethings out there that might be wanting to get into real estate, what you would advise them. But we'll let Marc go first with, what do you think?
Well,
What do you wanna say?
first thing is, as I've said all along, is find a mentor.
Yeah.
My mentor will be 92 in July.
Yeah.
Is still in the business.
So cool.
Hired me in the title business in 1977. Talk to him every morning.
Billy.
5 days a week. Billy Vaughn calls me 5 days a week. And has for 25 years. And he's my accountability. He's my cohort. He's my best friend. And he's my guideline. I mean, he's my compass.
Yes.
That side. So I firmly believe in the mentor side. I have a boutique firm. I really believe in the boutique firm side. It's not that I don't believe in Keller Williams or Compass, Coldwell Banker, but I think sometimes large is not always, biggest is not always. And I think if you're a boutique, then I think you can give more attention to the client you serve, to that side. So I like that. And the final thing is, as I always said too, is on video, the video side of that, saying, you know, add fun, but try to bring education as well, because I don't think there's enough education that's delivered publicly to the public to understand that they can afford to buy a house, type of thing. So those would be my 3 things that are easy summaries for me, because I've been preaching that for years.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Harlee?
Well, I'm going to start with the mentorship because Marc is right. I definitely agree, and I can't leave that out for the Gen Zs. If you're starting real estate, you're going to need a mentor because you don't know everything. You don't know everything. A lot of our generation thinks they know everything. So, yes. And then that PDF, I actually read your PDF before.
Yeah.
So that's a good mentorship PDF to get started.
Great. Thank you.
I think staying top of mind is the next important thing. You know, your video content, you're adding value, but also staying top of mind. That is, you know, one of the keys to staying valuable to your audience. I have literally had family from out of state find out that I'm a realtor from Facebook. It is just because they're always seeing me on there.
Yes, yes.
And then just getting out there and connecting with people. You can't just sit in your house all day and get clients off Instagram. As much as I preach it all day, I also get out and meet people.
Let's go.
You know, at your apartment complex pool, because you're Gen Z, you probably don't own a house yet, and you're selling real estate. So go meet people at your apartment complex pool. You know, go make connections. You know, things
Love
like
it.
that. Mm-hmm.
Beautiful.
And then if you're looking to get into it, don't be afraid to work. Just work hard and you'll be successful. I think our generation has all the tools they need to succeed that your generation didn't have, quite frankly. Like there's so many different ways to get yourself out there and market for free. So,
Good points.
yeah.
Wow, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is nothing I can say to follow up that. That's
Yeah.
ditto and ditto.
Yeah.
Really good information. Thank
Yeah.
you so much for coming and sharing. And if you are interested in starting a real estate career, go to my website, sandyhibbardcreative.com, and get the blog and get that article, Gen Z Want a Real Estate Career. And like Harlee said, it's a good guidepost. It goes through a little bit of everything and what you're going to need to be aware of to get started. And have fun. Work hard.
And then Harlee, what if somebody did want to get in contact with you? How do they? What's your best?
Trey, can we put
connection?
her phone number up on the screen?
Yeah, phone number's best, or you can contact me on social media. I answer all the DMs all the time, so
Of course you do.
Yes, all the DMs. It might take a couple hours for the Facebook Messenger, but
Okay.
yeah, everything
So
else is
social's the
pretty-
best way to get through
Social
to you.
or
That
phone
would
number,
make sense.
yeah.
Okay.
If you call me a random phone number, I will probably let it ring the first time. Just
Yeah.
we do get a lot of spams.
Oh, yeah.
too, So
Yep.
All right. Awesome. Thank
Excellent.
you so much.
Yes,
Guys,
thank
thank
you.
you for joining in. We will see you next month.
Ciao.
Ciao.